Welcome to the instruction video for the solo game mode for the card game IT Startup. We assume that you know the basics of the game. If you don't know how to play the basic version of IT Startup, check out the links in the video description. You will find the basic game manual there. To play the solo version of IT Startup, you just need the basic 64 cards of the game. There's also an option available to build your own deck using cards from expansion packs. We draw 5 cards and 5 resource points. After that we go to the Mulligan Phase, so we decide which cards from our hands we want to keep. We do it exactly the same way like in the basic multiplayer version of the game. After the Mulligan Phase we take 5 cards from the deck, 1 we put face down on the table and 4 face up. We call this area the public card area. The purpose of these cards is to simulate the employees from our opponent. So we can take over one of them using an HR card, or give them burnout points using our other cards. The face down card from the public card area will be called the mystery card. We may pay 1 resource point to take one of the cards from the public card area to our hand, but if we choose to take the mystery card, there is a risk associated with that. If we choose to take the mystery card, we can play this turn for 2 resource points less, but if the mystery card is an action card, then we lose some project points. Just look at the play cost of the card, and if it's an action card, we lose the amount of points that is equal to the play cost times 2. So if the play cost of the card is 3, we lose 6, if the card cost is 2, we lose 4, and so on. Every card that disappeared from the public card area will be replaced by a new card from the deck by the end of our turn. By the end of our turn, we can also decide which card from the public card area should be replaced. It can be the mystery card or any other card from this area. If any other card allows us to add burnout points to the employees from our opponent, then we can use this mechanic to add burnout points to any card from the public card area. A card from the public card area that has a burnout point is immediately replaced with a new card from the deck. If we have a card that lets us take over our opponent employees, then we can take over employees from the public card area, and if we want to, we can optional activate the when played trigger from the employee card. That's an important distinction from the standard game mode. Taking over an enemy employee does not allow us to activate the when played trigger, but we can do this in the solo game mode if we take over employees from the public card area. If we take over an employee with the outsourcing card, so it's only temporarily, then this employee returns to the public card area after we count the points for him. What's the goal of the game? When do we win? Currently the solo game mode is in the testing phase. We suggest to set yourself a goal to get 64 project points in 6 turns. If it's too hard or too easy for you, you can adjust it to give you 1 more turn or to get more project points in less turns and so on. You can also play in a high score mode. For example, give yourself 10 turns and try to get as many project points as possible, and the next time you play, try to beat your current high score. And that's basically all of it. You can play with the standard deck, you can build your own IT Startup deck to play in the solo game mode. If you know the basics from the multiplayer game version, from the standard game mode from IT Startup, then you can jump right in. Everything from this video is everything you need to know to play the solo game version. Have fun. Feel free to send us any feedback if you have any ideas about the game. The game is constantly evolving and the community is an important part of it. You can anytime check the rules for the solo game mode in the PDF file with the rules for this game mode. You can find everything in the video description. There will be links to the PDF file for the rules from this video, so if you prefer to read it instead of watching a video, you can check out the PDF file, or you can find the rules for the basic game mode in there, because the basic game rules are required to understand and play the solo game mode. Thank you for watching, and we hope you will have fun playing the solo version of IT Startup.